man. How is this not comfortable? Hey, what's up? This is Chris on The Longest Way. Today is August the 4th, 2018. We're about 10 kilometers from the border to Azerbaijan, and I'm scared. Yeah. But let's check out the room first. See here. That's a nice room. It's one of the best hotels I've stayed at. And it wasn't expensive too. It's like 30 euros or something. But it's pretty big and it's got a nice big bed. I don't know if it has a pool like the last good hotel where I stayed. But yeah. Anyway, I'm scared. I'm going to tell you guys why. So, you might have noticed that in the last few days I've been walking a lot. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but I've kept moving over the last week, and I usually don't do that, only, if it's absolutely necessary. And I figured it was necessary because of the video. I don't know if you remember, but I came to Iran for the first time last September, on September 25th, I think it was. And I entered via Sarakhs from Turkmenistan. And Sarakhs was really strange. In my head, I had these pictures of Iran being more like, what I'd seen on TV, what friends had told me. I don't know. There's a law that says you have to cover your head as a woman, but many women would just wear like a light headscarf, sort of on the dome, on the crane here of the head, and it'd be sort of, I don't know, kind of friendly. So then I arrive in Sarakhs and it's only chador. Chador meaning it's like a black thingy, like a condom for the head, basically, in black. It's got a hole here, so like your face is showing, but like none of your neck, none of your hair. It's really like, and it goes down like in a triangle sort of form. So like you look like a black triangle with a face that's like the upper body, or like if you see them from afar, it looks like Batman. These women. And in Sarakhs, it's basically all of them. So I arrived there and I'm like, damn, that's weird. Like this Iran is different from the one that I had in my head. And it wasn't better than that one. It was sort of worse. So anyway, I'm there, and on the second day, secret police, they grabbed me. Like they manhandled me on the street. I was just walking around that town taking pictures of like, I shop, I park. And then two dudes, they appear out of nowhere in a car, and they get out of the car and they grab me. They don't say anything. They just grab me. They don't wear a uniform. They just grab me and want to put me into the car. And I'm like, no, are you police? I asked them. I keep asking them, police? Because if they're police, I'm getting in the car. I'm not trying to not cooperate. I'm just thinking, like, if you're not police, I'm not getting in that car. It's really simple, right? But they don't say anything. They just keep grabbing me, but I'm bigger than them, so I kind of resist. And I'm on a sidewalk screaming, and then a cop comes, like a uniform cop, and he's like, yeah, those two are like secret police or whatever. So he's like, chill, it's okay. And then they give me to him, and he takes me to the military. And the military, what they tell me is that Iran has a bunch of different sorts of police that are not in uniform, like secret police and others, and that I shouldn't worry, just cooperate and it's gonna be okay. And I was like, okay. So apparently in that little town, the reason why they had grabbed me was that it was close to the border, so they figured, some dude taking photographs, that dude needs grabbing. So knowing this, I go on my little walk to Mashhad, a big holy city, like 3 million people around a shrine. Takes 3 weeks to get there. I get there, and it's all again chador, because everybody's very religious in the center of that town, and it's mostly people that have kind of flocked there because they're religious. Like, I don't know, people flock to Seattle because of Sir Mix-a-Lot or whatever, or Microsoft, and people flock to Mashhad because they're religious. So like the whole place again is full of these Batman women in black. And I'm kind of used to that by now. And then a car stops on the street, and two dudes are in the car, again, not wearing uniform, and they're like, hello, we are police. So they actually talk to me. They're like, we are police, and they show me a little badge. I can't read the badge because I don't read Farsi, I can only say, okay, so that's a badge. So I'm going to cooperate after what the military told me, right? So they're like, do you have any drugs on you? Mashhad, being a religious hub, is also a hub for drugs. Don't ask me why, but maybe because of the proximity to Afghanistan and Turkmenistan. So anyway, I'm like, no, I don't have any drugs. They're like, how about that passport? And I'm like, yeah, it's in a hotel. And they're like, how much money do you have on you? And I was thinking, like, this has happened to me a bunch of times before in Uzbekistan, where they're really worried about like money laundering, or like, I don't know, they have currency problems. So like they like to check on foreigners, how much money they got. So, I've had my money counted. So I'm like, okay, here it is. I keep it in like little plastic bags. I give them my dollars. It's like, I don't know, $400 or something. Some euros. I have some francs, some other money from Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan. And I give it to them, and I lean into the car, because I'm not giving my money to you, so you drive off, whatever. And they keep counting and counting. And I'm like, what's taking so long? I don't ask them, but I'm thinking like, dude, you should like know by now that this is like about $1,000 worth of money. Like, you can just give it back to me. But they keep counting and counting. And when I get it back, surprise, surprise, I'm short $100. And this is where the story actually starts. After this, I get mad. I'm thinking like, okay, so was this secret police, or was it just thieves? I don't know, but like everything is really shady. And I'm standing there on the street, and I start filming myself, and I start talking about how I find it weird that I'm in a holy city of a religious country that builds on this religious dogma and these morals, and especially in Mashhad, where everybody's wearing this chador thingy, and then they can't police the police. If this was police and they stole my money, so they got a corruption problem in the police, or they can't police criminals that just kind of, do this to tourists in the street. And I get very angry, and I talk about this, and I also talk about how I find it ridiculous, frankly, to force people to cover their heads. I don't mind the hijab. I think the hijab, frankly, can look quite good. But, if you don't want to wear it, I find it ridiculous to force you to wear it. Or like the chador thingy, I personally think it looks like Batman or like a black triangle. But if you like it, I know fantastic people around that area that are very religious. For them, it's very important. I respect them. But I just think like you shouldn't force anybody to wear it, right? So like I go off in a little rant about like, just stole my money, and then apparently your morals are so important here in this holy city, but you can't police the police, can't police the criminals. That's weird. Yeah, and I upload that video, and nothing happened. My videos, like the weird beer thing, a bunch of people watched it, but like now, I don't know, it's like a couple of hundred people watch my videos, a couple of thousand maybe. Nothing really happens. People are just like, oh, you got your money stolen, that's too bad. And I'm thinking the same, like it's $100. Shit happens. When you travel, it happens. So I forgot about it, but a week ago, some bloggers, they picked it up. But they didn't post the whole video. They just kind of edited it. Like they downloaded it, and then they cut it and chopped it up and added subtitles and added their own stuff. And then they uploaded it to their own Instagram thingies, because Instagram is not blocked here. Like YouTube is blocked, Facebook, Twitter, they're all blocked in Iran. But Instagram is still, you can still use it. So they upload it, and that was like a week, a little bit more, 10 days ago. And at first I'm like, okay, so what's up with that? Like people are like, using my stuff there. But then a famous regime critic who is residing in the US right now, her name is Masih Alinejad. She is the inventor of the White Wednesday movement, where women are encouraged to either wear white, like the headscarves, or no headscarves at all, and go outside on Wednesdays and kind of, I don't know, get society used to the fact that women might not wear that thing. So like she's like this activist regime critic, but she used to be a journalist in the parliament in Iran, and kind of in pretty good relations with some people in the government. So it's all a little bit complicated, as it is in dictatorships. So that woman, she also takes my video, chops it up, adds subtitles, and uploads it to her channel, and then hell breaks loose. Like she's got so many followers. I don't know, it's 1 million or something. everybody's seen the video. Like the whole thing goes super viral. Many Iranians are very hurt for different reasons. Some Iranians are hurt because hospitality is really important here, and they apologize to me, and they seriously try to get me the money back. Like they're like, give me your bank account, you know, I'm gonna wire you the money, and they're very serious about it. They think that, you know, Iran has one thing, or Iranians as a people, they have one thing: they're hospitable, which they are, and they don't want to see that destroyed by, you know, shit like this happening. Other people are hurt because I voiced my anger there in that video about the secret police, about the police, about the hijab thingy, about like the whole moral government thingy, where I'm thinking like, you know, if you're gonna police clothes, why don't you police the police, or like police criminals? And they react very hurt to that. Other people react to other things, but like the whole thing is just like an avalanche, and it's like I get so many messages from friends, and they're very worried. They're like, man, like get out of the country, like they're gonna get you, you're in deep doo-doo now. And they're really serious. Like it gets to a point where like friends of friends of friends have seen a video, or like dads of friends. So at that point, I sort of laid low in a little village, and I just kind of rested there. I didn't go outside at all, because, you know, these viral things, it's not different in Iran than anywhere else. They kind of go for 2-3 days, and then after that they cool down and people forget about it, and it's like the next thing that they flock to. So I was thinking, okay, you know, first wait it out, and also if the police want to come, they can find me. You know, I always have to register with my passport if I stay anywhere. So okay, and then I talked to friends more and more, and the police didn't come, but, you know, I talked to friends about it, and they say, well, you know, you probably don't have much to worry about, but you should go to the border. Like, you shouldn't. I was planning to go to all kinds of places in Gilan, go back to Rast. I told you guys before, go to Masule, maybe, you know, like this nice picturesque village in the mountains, and go there and hang out and take the road slow. You know, I don't like this fast walking. 7 days of just, you know, powering through. I would have taken it slow, but my friends were like, well, you know, you don't have much to worry about, but go to the border. Just go directly. Don't mess around. So I figured, okay. So now I'm at the border, and I'm thinking, yeah, what the hell happened there? You know, like people saying like, you have no right to you know, voice these critical opinions about my country. Like, you know, an Iranian person would say that. My country is my Iran. You as a German, you have no right. I'm thinking like, I don't know, that's a weird way of thinking. You know, if you're Iranian, you want to talk about Germany, if you encounter any sort of problem in Germany, you know, and you want to like bitch about it, fine. You know, I'm not going to stop you. If you get your money stolen in Germany, and that could happen, some people have rightly pointed out, this stuff happens all the time. Happens in Paris a lot, happens in Italy a lot, happens in Germany. You're fine to bitch about it. You know, I'm not going to say like, ooh, you have no right to talk about Germany. Of course you have. If you don't like stuff, like, you know, no German likes our tax system. You know, we have our own problems. If you want to bitch about them, bitch about them. I'm not going to say like, because you're not German, you have no right. Of course you have. So like that line of thinking is just weird to me. I know it. It's kind of familiar from China, where they're always like, oh, you're not Chinese. You have no right to talk about it. I'm like, okay, nationalists. Other people, yeah, like I didn't want to give Iran a bad reputation. You know, I take videos every day. And I get so many comments from people saying like, oh, you know, Iranians are apparently very nice. You know, the Iranians are showing my videos, or like the landscape. I walk through beautiful places, Golestan, Mazandaran, Gilan. And they're like, whoa, Iran is so green. Yeah, like, you know, I show the good stuff, I show the bad stuff, you know. But like, let me show the bad stuff too. Don't be scared. And then, yeah, there was a detail in the video. I was going to just, you know, this is a rant anyway, so I'm just going to go into that too. Like, in the end of the video, there's this old lady where you can see me panning, you know, turning the camera onto her and saying, like, sorry, I don't have any money. I can't give you any money. And then I think again, and I take out a little bit of money and give it to her. And then people were like really mad, Iranians, and they're like, man, you know, why would you insult an old person like that? She wasn't asking for your money. She was just standing there looking at you. And I'm like, man, before the camera turns on her, she did this to me. You know, it happens a lot in that area, especially around the shrine. It happened. I don't know, like these Iranians, if they've ever been to Khorasan. It's like you live in your Shiraz bubble, in your Isfahan bubble, in your Tehran bubble, and you think that's Iran. No, Iran is pretty big. And I've only been to like these little parts, but I can tell you Khorasan is a lot different from Tehran, you know? That happens a lot there. So like I see her ask me for money, and then I turn the camera and I say, I'm sorry, I don't have any money. And when I give it to her, then she nods and says something like thanks and takes it. What do you think? Some random person is just gonna take my money? Or like I'm just gonna go around and look at old people and think like, oh, you look poor, I'm gonna give you money? What do you think of me? Like, so like yeah, they get mad about all kinds of stuff. I get mad a little bit at that Masih Alinejad person. The other bloggers, I don't know them. So like really, if you're some kid from somewhere, you know, download my stuff, use it in your own way, change it, whatever, okay. But like this Masih Alinejad, many people don't like her in Iran. One person has said something interesting to me. They said, the only people that like her are outside of Iran. And I was like, that's interesting. And I don't think it's true. I think many people in Iran probably like her too. But she's a little bit controversial. She seems to be very, you know, self-important. You know, it's always about her. And she's like this one-trick pony. It's always hijab. Actually, women have a lot more problems than hijab. They do have the hijab problem. I don't like it. But, you know, if you're only going to talk about that one thing, it's sort of like, it's a little bit, you know, meh. And also, like, she puts these women in danger with her White Wednesday thing, where, like, young girls, young women, they flock to her. They think, okay, so she's sort of like an opinion leader. And then they do the thing where they don't wear the hijab outside, which, you know, I respect them for it. But it's putting them in danger, and she cannot help them. She's in the States. What's she going to do? You know, so, like, you got these followers, these fans, and then you make them do something, or, like, you persuade them to do something. But then you don't own up to it. You can't help them. You know, you don't have an infrastructure in the country where you know, if somebody grabs them and puts them somewhere in some, I don't know, jail or whatever, what are you going to do from the U.S.? So like it's a little bit weird. And from my standpoint, you know, I'm thinking, okay, so you're an activist for human rights in the U.S. Even if your human rights are only hijab, maybe it's more, I don't know. But like, how about you respect intellectual property? That would be like, it's not like a very, very important human right, but it's like a right of a citizen, right? You live in that country. In Iran, nobody respects intellectual property at all. Which, you know, you can have your own opinion about that. But now you're in the US. And how about you respect my intellectual property? I uploaded that video. If you want to download it, cut it up, edit it, add subtitles that are different from the original meaning. You know, people ask me like, why did you say my people are uncultured? An Iranian person asked me, why did you say my people are uncultured? And I said, when did I say that? And apparently it was somewhere in the subtitles. I don't speak Farsi. It's not my subtitle. Somebody added it to it, you know? So like if that Alinejad person wants to use my stuff, why not ask me before? You know, you downloaded it, so you must have found it somewhere. You edited it, so you spent a lot of time with it. You added subtitles to it. You can't ask me if that's okay? It's like, you know, have you really arrived in your home country, in your host country, in the US? You know, have you really like understood human rights, citizens' rights? You know, it all goes together. You don't go around stealing other people's stuff and kind of using them. So, okay. Now I'm scared. Police never showed up. I got stopped by the secret police again. They didn't manhandle me. They were very nice about it, and they had one military guy with them in uniform, so I was happy about that. And they asked for my papers, and they wanted to know all kinds of stuff, but I think that was just because I was close to the border. That was a few days ago. Police didn't stop me. Nothing bad happened, but I'm thinking, okay, so now it's the border. It's sort of like, you know, the last, like in Star Wars, when you fly out in your Falcon and like this thing is closing, you know, and you got to pass through. That's what it feels like, sort of. And I was reading a news article, which I shouldn't have, but I did anyway, about a Lebanese woman, a tourist who had gone to Egypt, who had apparently not liked the experience and made a video in which she complained about sexual harassment and Egyptian society in general, and it was apparently very rude. And then that thing got viral in Egypt, and many people, I don't know, responded. And then she wanted to leave, you know, as a tourist. Apparently, at some point, you go home, and the authorities grabbed her at the airport, and they gave her 8 years in prison for that, for like insulting the whatever. So, you know, I'm thinking like, that's not gonna happen to me, but that's probably what she thought too. So I'm scared. And it feels a little bit like, I'm gonna close with this, it's a long video. It feels a little bit like going to, you know, to the HIV test, which you should do. Like maybe every 6 months, you know, you should go get yourself tested, depending on the amount of, you know, fun you have. But it's out of responsibility to your partners as well. Like you should be sure, you know, about what you got, what you don't have. So you test for all kinds of stuff. One of them is HIV, which sounds and feels very, very serious. So like you go to that testing center and you get your blood drawn, and they tell you like, oh, come back in a day or 2 days or whatever. And then you think, okay. And then the thoughts set in where you're like, oh, you know, I'm sure I don't have anything. I couldn't have, you know, I used protection all the time. Like everything was okay, nothing ever happened. But what if? You know, and that's where your thoughts kind of go like, everybody goes to that test and they think they don't have anything. And then they go back to the, you know, to get the result, and the doctor is like, please have a seat here. And you think like, have a seat? Why? No, I don't want to have a seat, you know? That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm very sure nothing's going to happen. I'm very sure I'm just going to slip through the border and be in Azerbaijan, which is also a new place, which I don't know. So I'm a little bit, you know, I'm not a brave guy. People, they think that sometimes because I don't know why actually. But yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that border. I don't want to, like, you know, I give them the passport and they're like, come with me, please. Or wait here. So we'll see. Yeah. It looks like I've been talking down to you here, I guess. Like I put the camera on my leg because it's really heavy. And I'm hanging out here, dragging the time. It's past noon. I'm still copying photos because I want everything to be safe. And because I don't want to leave because I'm scared. I'm scared. All these mad people. Oh yeah, and people have actually been recognizing me, you know, on the way. Like I don't speak much Farsi, but you know, like I go to buy some water in a shop, and the guy says video Alman police pool, video German police money, and you know what he's talking about. He's telling somebody else, oh, that's the guy from the video that had his money stolen by the police. Yeah, I'm like, hello. Or like another fruit vendor insisted on giving me the peaches for free, and you know, from the way they talked and they looked at me, I knew what was going on. He was trying to make up for like this whole situation, because like it's really important for many Iranians, from I think all of them, this hospitality thing. You're a guest in their country and you should be happy, and most of the time you are. You know, it's good to be a tourist here. It's nice, people are friendly. You know, the regime thing, it doesn't really concern you that much while you're traveling. You know, I don't know, especially like if you're a two week Isfahan, Shiraz, Tehran tourist. You know, it's fun. It's a good place to visit. I've said so before and I'm going to say it again. Yeah, sometimes shit happens. And yeah, the government, the system it is what it is. Okay, I gotta go, guys. I don't know when you're gonna see this, or if. But know that, yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. And if I end up in prison, I'm gonna sell more books. Oh, there's a German guy in prison and he looks really, really weird. But how am I gonna take my my daily photo if I'm in prison? I'm gonna need to get like Special treatment. Can I take my camera and my flash? Can I take daily photos? How about that phone? I need to finish listening to my Tolstoy novel. Okay, peace.